Okay, I know I just yawned, but ever since coming off that fast, bro,
Dude, I didn't even get to hear about this.
dude, I have like my energy level this whole week has been insane.
Really?
Insane, dude. Yes.
So fill people in on what you did.
So I did just a 3-day like water only fast. I had black coffee here and there, but it was pretty much just water only. I did it because there's like a studies coming out saying how a 24-hour fast, right, is good for, I guess, gut health.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of like for like detoxification, right?
Yeah,
that's like the big word,
it's like a
right
reset.
now. Yeah. And then once you start getting into like the 72-hour range, so like 3 days, then apparently there's studies showing that your body can actually produce stem cells. So which can help different parts of your body heal, like muscle strains or I don't know. Basically, like anything that's like in pain, it can help with that.
I've heard that too.
So I don't know if it's BS or not. Who knows? But I was like, I'll just try it. Why not?
Let's hear your personal study results.
I mean, as far as pain, I didn't really do much. My wrists are still trash. My lower back has still been giving me problems from
deadlift,
the cruise, bro.
Oh,
something about the cruise destroyed my lower back.
No way.
Yes, like just threw it in the garbage. I've been hurting.
Have you ever experienced this level of back pain? Ever?
I mean, it's nothing compared to when I had the muscle spasm. Yeah. But no, not like this.
Is more chronic.
Yeah, it's weird.
Huh.
But I think it's from my job. I think it's from my I don't sit at a desk all day.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I've noticed that the way my chair is, it makes me kind of like slump a little bit. I think that's what's doing it. But so I did this whole. I've been doing a lot of lower back exercises and like stretches, whatever, just to try to like experiment and see what's gonna help make it stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people don't realize that there's muscles in your hamstrings, and kind of like your hip, that are connected to your lower back, to where if those are tight, then your lower back will hurt. So
heard that, yeah.
Yeah, there's stretches you can do, like the elephant walk, which is kind of like touching your toes, like one leg at a time.
Okay.
And other various things that helps alleviate it which helps. I've been like completely switching up my whole workout, not my whole workout routine, but a lot of it to strengthen like my knees and my lower back and everything. So I think me changing up my leg routine was making muscles in my hamstrings and around those areas tighter, which was affecting my lower back.
Wow.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So I've been stretching those a lot, and then on Tuesday, I did a lower back exercise. You know the one where you it's like a bench kind of, and it locks your feet at the bottom, and you lean forward and come back up
with like I think so.
It's like you're standing on it, and you're leaning, like your head's here and your feet are here, and you're leaning forward and you bend down.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did that, and one of the things I saw someone do is like they would do like a hold position at the top. So what I did, I just held for 10 seconds, and then I would go down like super slow and come up super slow, and then hold for 10 seconds.
Wow.
And since I did that exercise, my back has felt
really
10 times better.
Dude, it's so funny you said that, because we used to have one of those in our small high school gym,
Yeah.
And I would do those all the time.
Really?
Yes, and I would hold like I got to where I would hold like a 25-pound weight and do them, and then like
Yeah,
like you can just the stronger your lower back hits, you can just go farther and farther and farther, right?
dude.
And like my back has never felt stronger than when I was doing those. And then I got hurt in powerlifting like really bad when I hurt my lower back, just like what you're describing. Kind of really similar to your deadlifting injury.
Yeah. Okay.
Where like I really could barely stand up and like sit down, and it's like it's that dagger in your back type pain.
Yes.
And since that injury, like it has been so difficult to get my posture back to where it was.
Really?
Oh yeah, every day in jiu-jitsu, like my stretching is almost all around my lower back. It's laying on the ground and then having my left leg come over my right leg.
Dude, that one helps a lot.
So much. I have another one where I'll like lay on my back and I'll sit just like I am right now.
Yes.
And then I'll pull this leg in.
Yes, dude. I've been doing that one too.
That one feels amazing. And then I'll also stretch my quads, my hamstrings, because I've heard that same thing that you mentioned. And that helps for sure. But I definitely have noticed that has been a lingering thing for years right after that incident. And
Dang.
so it's crazy to that because those machines have been on my mind of like, dang, I don't really see them a lot in gyms anymore. They're not.
There's like one.
Yeah, there's
at
not,
my LA Fitness. There's one.
They're not around much.
Yeah.
But to this day, that is one of the best lower back exercises I've ever tried.
Yeah, dude. I've been seeing a lot how people, because growing up in sports like weight training, they would always say how, like in all your lifts, right? Power clean, deadlift, squat, like back squat.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to keep your back as straight as possible.
Sure.
But a lot of stuff I'm seeing now is saying that like that doesn't really help your lower back at all. Like if you're doing deadlifts and stuff like that, like if all your training revolves around your back being straight, then like what's gonna happen when you bend your back?
Yeah.
Like you're probably gonna injure it.
Right.
So exercises like that with that machine where you're strengthening those lower muscles through like with that bending motion, you're strengthening those muscles. So
yeah,
and which will help prevent those injuries. So yeah, dude, that has been crucial in my routine lately.
But you're saying your energy levels have been crazy since after the fast?
Yeah.
Really? Like when you say crazy, like what were you at like out of 1 out of 10 before this?
I don't have as much of a crash.
Okay.
Like, yeah, when 2, 3, 4 o'clock comes around, I'm still just amped. Like I feel energetic. I don't feel like a sloth. That's been the biggest difference I've noticed. I feel like a lot of that probably has to do with a lack of sugar and like carbs.
Oh yeah.
So
like your body's not producing very much insulin to cover your any food because there's no food.
Yeah.
So or not much food.
Yeah.
Whatever the case is, and so you don't have that crash. I get that, man. I get that.
It was good though. I felt like it kind of kicked me back into gear after coming back from the cruise.
Yeah, the cruise has a way of kicking you out of gear.
All that pizza, bro.
I don't know. I don't know what they do to make that. I don't know who invented that recipe, but like if there was a pizza place here that like, I just had a crazy idea. If there was a pizza place here that just sold that pizza, and it was like cheaper than the other pizzas around, like if they could make it for like just a decent price, not even a good price, just a decent price, I would be there all the time.
Dude, me too, bro.
I would order that like every Friday night.
Me too. What's crazy is that pizza is not, it's not like the best pizza I've ever had.
No,
it's really not.
It's not.
There's nothing. It's like,
you know what it is? It's the most well-balanced pizza I've ever had.
It is. It's, how can I describe this? Like compare it to an oven baked pizza, like a regular like out of your freezer oven baked pizza.
Yes.
It's better than that. But it's not like a Domino's pizza or a freaking Papa John's or whatever.
Right.
But something about it, dude.
To me,
something about it.
To me, it is better than Domino's and Papa John's because it's thin crust. Like I love that it's thin crust. That's like a big thing for me because to me, sometimes there's just too much dough. I just don't like all the dough.
It's not like super thin though.
I know, but it's not nearly as thick as a normal pizza from a chain.
Very true.
Okay, so here's my wild thought. What if we find someone who knows how to make that pizza? And we have that at the freaking cafe, dude. Like
dude, if Royal Caribbean can do it, we can do it.
Dude, the exact recipe. I'm talking like the exact dough, exact cheese, exact sauce.
That'd be pretty insane.
That would be dangerous.
It'd be dangerous, dude.
We would have 24-hour
really
access.
limit my time at the cafe, bro.
You would have 24-hour access. Yeah, that actually might be an issue. Probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, it'd be an epidemic, dude. We'd cause the city of Round Rock to become obese.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay, so here's another super random tangent.
Okay.
But I started a new book, an audiobook called Contagious. You ever heard of it? So I was just thinking about, like, for some reason, the whole social media thing and I guess kind of just human attention has just been intriguing to me.
Okay.
Like, what is it about a video or what is it about a story or XYZ that like actually captures and holds your attention?
Right.
It's like a hook or because that's every major advertising company, that's literally what
it's their playbook.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a commodity. I mean, our attention is like a commodity now.
Yeah.
Being able to hold your attention is like the number one goal for any social media platform or any ad. So it's just interesting to me. So I got this book called Contagious. I just looked up on ChatGPT. I was like, I'm interested in this.
Oh, dang.
Recommend it. Like, yeah, I just want some recommendations.
Smart. That's smart.
So, this is kind of like another tangent off of this, but in the book it described this experiment that was done. So for like attention, right? For something, the whole video or the whole book is about like viral content, like what makes something go viral.
Okay.
Right. So it describes like 6 steps that are needed basically for like a story or any form of content to go viral. Mm-hmm. And the first step, he calls it social currency. And so he says there's 3 factors of social currency, which is remarkability, leveraging game mechanics, and then making people feel like they're insiders. So I guess, and he said that social currency is like, think of it as people share things that make them look good to others. So this is almost like an honor shame thing that we learned about in hermeneutics, right?
Okay.
Where back in the old times, honor was like a currency where the more honor you have, like the more access you have to like certain things, parties, just groups of people, items, whatever, right? And so you can gain, like there's only so much honor to go around, so you can gain and lose honor.
Okay.
So just like with Jesus and the Pharisees, one of the big reasons the Pharisees hated Jesus so much is because every time they got into an argument or like a debate and Jesus won every single time, they're losing honor.
Ooh.
And Jesus is gaining more honor in the public's eyes, right?
Wow.
So that's kind of how it works.
Okay.
So similar framework with social currency. People like to talk about things that make them look good, right? Like you don't want to talk about something that is going to make you look dumb.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about something that's going to make you look smart or funny or interesting,
Witty.
yeah.
It's so true.
So he talks about this experiment, dude, that just blew my mind. It was so interesting. They asked people, they took a group of people and they asked them, would you rather make $50,000 or $100,000? Pretty like obvious answer, right? Like everyone would say $100,000. But then afterwards, there's like a catch. And so they said, okay, if you choose $50,000.
I think I've heard about this.
Okay. He said, if you choose $50,000, you'll make twice as much as people who are making $25,000. Then they said, if you choose $100,000, you'll be making, like, basically there'll be people making double what you have, $200,000. And what they found is that the majority of people chose $50,000 because in their heads, they could say, basically, that I'm making double, like twice as much as this person.
Wow.
And would choose not to have $100,000. Dude, that is insane.
I have heard that before, and that did blow my mind. Jeez.
That just shook me.
Really?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's just
Why?
because it's so crazy how people care that much about how they're perceived.
Which one would you choose?
I mean, I would like to say that I feel like I'd have to choose $100,000.
If you walked in the office every day and everyone was like, "That's Zach, he only makes $100,000."
That would suck. But it's way better than making $50,000.
It's true.
And there's no room to grow. Like if you're in a room and you make $50,000 and everyone else makes $25,000, and you walk around like, yeah, I'm the guy, then you're a fool.
Wow.
Because you've limited yourself. It's like it's that whole cheesy thing of everyone says like you want to be you never want to be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah. Okay, so remarkability, gamification, and basically like relatability. Those were the three?
Was it relatability? Making people feel like they're insiders.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a huge one.
Dude. Yeah.
That's a huge one. That's where like niched content
Dude.
goes crazy.
Yes.
Because then it's like, oh, it feels like when I send you like a freaking meme, a reel about like working on a car, but like we're working on a car and it like makes we say like, oh, this should take 5 minutes.
Yes.
But like it really takes freaking 3 hours. That is super specific.
Yeah.
But because it's so specific and it's like a specific experience that we've shared, that makes me feel like when I send that to you, that makes me feel like I'm gaining honor, like I'm gaining that like how we share this experience. It's like I think that's exactly what it's talking about.
Yeah. That's the whole thing of like an inside joke.
Yeah.
Like,
everyone wants to be on the inside of the joke.
Dude.
No,
yes.
It's not that. No one wants to be on the outside of the joke.
Right.
It's loss aversion. It's like I don't want to be out of the know more than I want to be in the know.
Yes.
That's the same thing with the money, right? It's like I would rather be seen as a person than actually make the objective double amount of money that I could.
Right.
So it's just like I would rather not lose essentially than be doubling my money or whatever.
Yeah. He gives this story of this dude who opened up, these two dudes, I think, who opened up a hot dog restaurant in New York. And so hot dogs took off, like it was really good, right? And then eventually they're like, okay, we really want to open up a bar. And there's a restaurant, like a tea cafe or whatever next to them that was struggling.
Mm-hmm.
So they were eventually able to convince them to like sell it to them, right? So they took on that property. And in their minds they're like, okay, well, it's New York. There's like 4 bars on every corner in our area, right? So how are we going to make our bar stand out?
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of doing like this crazy marketing campaign and setting flyers out everywhere, right? Any of like the normal things you would do to get your brand out there. Inside the hot dog store, there was an old, like antique phone booth, like a red, like old phone booth, right? And so if you're in there eating a hot dog and like you go check out this phone booth and you're just looking at it, there's an old phone, like a dial phone, on a table. And so if you were to happen to dial the number 2, like turn to the number 2 and let it go, then the freaking phone booth back door opens to a speakeasy bar, dude. And so it blew up. Like it blew up. This is like a real story, apparently.
Dude.
To the point where they had to, like, it's same day reservations, right? And there's only like 45 seats in the bar. So there's literally, I think it opens at like 3 p.m. And if you don't get your name in on the phone, then like you can't get in. So people will line up like forever.
And while they're there, they might as well get a hot dog.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
But
it's that feeling of being on the inside.
Yes. Yes, exactly. That is so fascinating. I think to make this relevant to our podcast,
yeah.
I think that is what a lot of people felt about Second Floor.
Yes.
Like there was this jealousy of like, dang, I don't know what goes on there, and I don't like that I don't know.
Yeah.
With them, and like maybe some people really wanted to be a part of it. They would be like, dang, it'd be sick to be freaking. I heard people say that. I'm not just speculating.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I heard people say that.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say earlier is like, I think that this is something that with our cafe idea is gonna work super, super well. Because traditionally, like you said, what you usually do when you open up a place like that is you'll go on Facebook, you'll go to groups, you'll do like community events, you'll go to like the freaking, city council or whatever, join the board. You'll do all that stuff, right? And like, maybe if you do that, maybe you'll have a successful opening, maybe, right? And so it's like, what if we did none of that? Like nothing of that.
Yeah.
And did that a similar aspect, not completely the same, but similar. I think that it would explode, dude.
Yeah.
And because like I think that so like you said, the commodity is attention, and I've heard Alex Ramosi say that too. Of like, you only have a certain amount of attention in a day.
Yeah.
You only have a certain amount, right? And so these big companies are trying to monopolize your attention, right? And they have whole teams devoted to like the Facebook like button, like what happens when you press like, how do you make that more addictive to your brain? That's 100% real. And so when I think about that, like strategy wise, of how can we be different, especially with the podcast too, it's like we can't compete with that. Like we don't have enough resources.
We don't have a freaking
team.
algorithm.
And I don't want to operate off of addiction. Like I don't want to take advantage of people in that way, and I don't think it's healthy. And so that's why people have said like, why don't you guys edit your podcast more? Like why don't you cut out the dead time and stuff like that? And it's like, because we want it to feel real.
Yeah.
We want it to be like a real experience. not something that's just like cut. So there's like zero pauses, right? Like, and sure, you got to play the game a little bit for sure, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and that's why we do shorts and reels and stuff, right? But
we cut out some stuff. I mean,
yes,
every time a freaking camera dies.
yes, you do cut that out for sure. But there is only a certain amount of attention. And there's only a certain amount that you can go. There's only so far you can go down the path of short form content before it doesn't get shorter.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a limit. And so I'm like, okay, if we can't and don't want to beat that path, then you got to go all the way on the other end.
Yeah.
To stand out. And so in my head, that's kind of what we're doing with the cafe, is like, we are going all the way to the other side and creating a space where it's like, wow, this is really, really different than anything else out there. And that in itself is the product. Like, that's the brand that you're selling, is that experience. And so it's just fascinating that we operate that way as humans.
I know. I mean, when you really look at it, I watched this whole other like social media video this morning that my brother sent me, and he was just saying how like we are the new to all these like social media companies, we are the currency.
Ooh.
And it's just crazy when you think about it like that.
Yeah.
Because one, it makes you, dude, he starts off, it's a TED Talk. And he starts off his presentation with this like, I don't know, an image or whatever where it's like all these like circles.
Okay.
And it depicts how many, I think, months you have left in your life from 18 to like say 92 or something like that.
Okay. And
he was saying how he just like filled in all the circles of like time, like sleep.
Yes, I've seen. Yeah,
okay, you've seen that, dude.
Yeah,
dude, it was just
when you see on the screen how little time you have
left.
If you live to the average age.
Yes, dude. That's
a big if.
Like, that's being optimistic.
Yeah.
It really puts into perspective, dude. Like, holy crap.
Dude, I remember there's a time where I was watching so much TV, so much YouTube that's why I eventually got rid of my TV.
Yeah.
I was just like, my whole living room and many people's living rooms are configured around the TV.
Yeah.
And so it's like natural it's too easy to just sit down.
100%.
And then again, with the whole attention currency thing, you just go down, you doom scroll, you doom watch.
Yes.
And so I realized, I was like, if I don't fix this, I started tracking how long I was spending. If you want to change, track how long you spend. Like, for me, it helped me to manually track it. You can look on your screen time, right? But like,
right.
I counted social media and YouTube and shows and movies. Like, I counted everything for the week. And there was a few weeks, dude, where it got really bad. Like, I was hitting like almost 20 hours, like 20 to 24 hours a week.
Really?
Yeah. And
that's like TV and
TV,
on your phone, like
on my phone, movies, and that's pretty much as high as it got.
Yeah.
And so then, actually, I saw Layla Hormozi talk about this. She's the one that gave this whole checklist that I went through, and so that was the first part of it. Then you calculate that out, right? So it's like, okay, if I spend 24 hours a week for the next 5 years, how much time will I have lost to media? And it turned out to be almost an entire year. I think that's right, because I did 24 times 52, because there's 52 weeks in a year. Okay, that's about 1,248 hours, right?
Okay.
So then I did that times 5, which is 6,240 hours, right? So then you divide that again by 24. Yeah. Okay, maybe it's not quite a year. It's 260 days.
Okay, I mean, still.
So yeah, that's I guess that's more like a
But dude,
2/3 of a year.
24 hours a week is like, that's not that much. So like compared to what I think a lot of people do.
Really? I didn't look up averages. Like I didn't look up
Maybe I could be wrong on that. I feel like it could. I mean, 24 hours a week.
Yeah, total.
I'd be surprised if like the average isn't higher than that.
Let's ask
Let's see.
Let's ask ChatGPT.
GPT that real quick.
What's the total average screen time, including average weekly screen time, including shows, movies, YouTube, and social media for the average American? Oh yeah, you weren't kidding, dude. Holy crap. It says television, including streaming services, Americans spend around 30 hours per week on TV-related activities.
That's just TV?
Social media, Americans spend about 17 hours per week on social media platforms. YouTube, about 6 to 10, depending on age and habits. In total, the average American likely spends 50 to 60 hours per week on screens, combining these sources. Oh, frick. That makes me feel a little bit better. Wow. Keep in mind this can fluctuate based on individual habits and age. So okay, let's just do 50 hours. Let's do 50 hours times 52 weeks times 5 years. Oh, 13,000 even. Divided by 24 is 541 days.
Yeah, that's well over a year.
Well over a year spent on social. So then I was like, how would I feel like 5 years from now if I had almost an entire year? I just said that to make myself feel worse. Almost an entire year spent on screens. And when I put that into that perspective, that's 1/5 out of 5 years, basically.
And you're saying that's 24 hours.
That's only 24 hours. So when I put that into perspective for myself, it really helped me make drastic changes to my environment.
Yeah.
Which has helped. I can say it's genuinely helped.
That is so insane, bro.
Yeah.
That's so insane. Yeah, I just checked mine. Like my daily average right now is 5 hours.
And that's low, dude.
Well, granted, a lot of that time is while I'm at work.
Yeah.
And I have Spotify and my phone's just like open and playing music.
For sure.
You probably take like 2 hours off of that. Maybe.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
But still 3 hours daily. So times 7, 21 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
It's not terrible. But still, that's just my phone.
Yeah.
So
dude, I don't even think video games is included in this either. No, it's not. But anyway, that really woke me up.
Yeah.
That woke me up to this is not conducive to my goals. And I feel terrible after. I feel like I just ate junk food for my brain. But it put me in this thing where it's like, but I don't want to just I think a lot of people in this space, I don't want to just completely delete everything.
Yeah.
Because that's how they get you, right? It's like, you don't want to miss out.
Then you're on the outside.
You're not
on the inside anymore, bro.
Dude, so this has been really recent for me. This is what I've tried to do, is if you go in your iPhone and you go to settings, and then you go to accessibility,
mm-hmm.
and you go display and text size.
Oh, you told me about this.
And you go to color filters. Scroll down and you go to color filters. You can turn it all the way you can turn the colors all the way to gray. So I did that for a while, right? I did that for a few days, but I would not keep it there because I would get sent like a photo and I would be like, I have no idea what colors are in these photos.
Yeah.
That's in this photo. So I was like, this is what it must be to be colorblind, which would suck. But there's a a scale, so you can turn it
Okay.
a little bit down, all the way down, etc. And so I came back to this and I only turned it halfway down. And so the colors are still visible, but it's like dulled. And so I did that. Then I deleted all the social apps. Like I deleted Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Okay.
Okay.
But before I deleted them, I got on Safari and I logged in to all of them on the browser. So I still have access to them, but the browser version is terrible.
Yeah.
Right? Like it sucks. It's
Yeah.
painful.
It is.
It's not as high quality. The colors aren't as good.
Yeah.
It's slower. It's clunky. And so my wife has an iPad. And so I put all my apps on her iPad. And so I don't really carry that with me all the time like I do my phone, obviously. But I still have access to it at night if I want to get on social media or watch YouTube for a little bit
Okay.
or whatever. And like for this, we post stuff, right? And so it's like I need access to post things. And so that has controlled my brain so much more. If you try this out, if you're listening, try this out. Go to settings, go to accessibility, go to display and text size, go to color filters, and just turn that scale down, and you'll feel your brain go, thank you. Thank you. You don't realize like how addicting the colors
I'll have to try
are.
it, dude. I'll have to try it.
It's crazy, dude. You'll get on your phone and be like, man, I don't want to
Yeah, I can see
want to
that.
get
I can
on
see
this.
that.
It's just gross.
Yeah.
It's gross looking.
Yeah.
So, but I've tried variations of that and it just has not worked. Either it's not been accessible enough or it's been too far the other way to where I just stop it completely. Right. And so it's not functional, but this has been really working for me. So.
Dang, dude. I mean, honestly, bro, this whole conversation is why I'm not, I don't know. I'm not 100% against, like, if we had this whole cafe thing, putting your phones up.
I'm not either, bro.
I don't want to be. Okay, because I remember Sagu used to do this. I don't know if they did it while you were there, but I remember, unless I'm just making this up, but I'm pretty sure I remember at least freshman year, like in the calf, on the tables there were baskets to like encourage people to put their phones in.
Yes.
And I mean, sometimes there would be like someone at the table that would be like, dude, put your phone in, come on. But most of the time no one ever did.
Yeah.
But the more and more like you talk about this stuff and understand the effects of it, the more and more it's like, damn, maybe we should do that.
So I think a workaround to that is you can either have one room that's dedicated like a phone-free zone.
Okay.
So people that choose to say, hey, I'm choosing to do this, right? Like it's in the intentional aspect of it. That usually works better.
I like that.
Or you can have like certain events, right? Like certain nights, like it's phone-free night, right? Like, so if you come to that event, you know that you're signing up to say, hey, I'm gonna put my phone, and it's typically best to have it like at the front. You know, you're checking into the event or whatever, and you put your phone down, and it's like, hey, if you want to check your phone, no problem, just come over here and check it. Because like sometimes I need to check my blood sugar apps on my phone.
Yeah, for sure.
Functionality, right? Like, you know, if there's an emergency or something, of course. But it's like, I want to have access to it. Don't be like, I'm gonna lock it up in a safe. You can't get to it. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But I think when you give people the option to and say, hey, it's encouraged, and you use the social aspect to say, hey, everyone else is doing it, you're gonna be the only person on your phone.
Yeah.
Maybe that would help.
I can see that.
Because I think there are people that want that, but you have to help them get over that part of your brain that's like, no,
Yeah.
I don't want it.
Which is wild, dude. It's wild that we're so connected to them in that way.
Just wait till they're in us. Won't be long now, dude. Won't be long now.
It's already here, dude. Freaking Neuralink. It's already here. But yeah, it's so like it, truthfully, it just makes me really thankful to have friends that, like, when we're all hanging out,
Yeah.
like, I feel like we're not people that are just like when we're hanging out just getting on our phone.
We don't. We're pretty
Like,
good about it.
Yeah, we're pretty good. That just sucks.
Yeah.
I even like when I'm walking around at work sometimes, or I'll be driving and I just see people walking on the sidewalk. I mean, dude, there's times they're walking and like their head is just like this, like while they're walking. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, that's like a safety hazard, bro. You have zero sense of awareness.
Dude,
Of
I
what's
mean,
coming,
like,
coming at you.
forget just like the practical aspect of like walking across the street and maybe getting hit by a car type thing.
Yeah.
But like, and you know, in the event of an actual violent event happening,
Dude, you are an open, like the
You're cooked.
easiest target.
you're cooked.
The easiest target, yeah.
Someone comes behind you, you're done. Like, bang bang, you're done, dude. You're done.
Yeah.
And that's a serious problem. That's a serious problem.
Yeah, dude.
What was I gonna say? I don't remember.
Dude, you were talking about something a little bit ago when you were talking about second floor, and I was gonna say
Yes.
something, and it's
It was the part about people were saying they wanted to be a part of what we were doing.
yeah.
And there were some people that, like, where they were jealous or they didn't like us because they hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah.
That's how it felt.
It did feel like that. We did have a lot of haters. I feel like there's something I was gonna say about that. I don't remember.
It'll come to you.
But that was something that was huge about second floor. That feeling of, like, not just the outside perspective, right? Of like, oh, like second floor is kind of mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
But being on the inside, it's like, yeah, they don't know. They have.
Oh, true.
Like, there's that effect too of being on the inside. And I don't know. It's the whole like phone booth speakeasy thing. It's like you have information or access that like other people don't, and something about that just reels people in. And that's that social currency. Like, you have something that someone else doesn't.
FOMO. Yeah, that's FOMO.
FOMO. Yeah.
Fear of missing out. Gosh.
Oh my gosh, dude. I think I just remembered. I don't remember what you said that triggered this, but I was thinking about like the whole concept. The guy talks about how, first, like, in terms of like spreading information or spreading content or whatever, they'll say that nothing, like, I know you've talked about this a lot being around you or whatever, like, nothing spreads information better than word of mouth. Like, nothing. Like, that's like, it's the best marketing
Yeah. Like, it's
vehicle.
It's the most
like,
trusted. It's the best way to say it. It's the most trusted source of spreading information.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
For marketing purposes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It's the easiest way to build trust.
Yes. 100%. Yes. Okay. So, yeah, you're talking about how, like, with this podcast, right?
Yeah.
We haven't done a lot of marketing, so to speak. We haven't really.
Zero.
Yeah, zero. Kind of like intentionally.
Yeah.
And what I've loved about that is, okay, it reminds me, one, of the early church, right? Where the reason that like the early church, like Christianity, blew up was because of like word of mouth, right? I mean, obviously there was no social media or whatever, but
I mean, yeah, true.
But like they say that most, like a lot of the evidence for Christianity comes from like the explosion of the religion when it happened. Like you had like Judaism, right? You had like the Greeks, like all these different religions, whatever. And then all of a sudden, like when Christianity started, it was just like it just freaking expanded like wildfire.
That's true.
And part of that was due to the like the whole Acts Church model, how everyone was sharing with one another. Everyone was like, there was just like this deep sense of community that differed from every other religion.
Yes.
So, and that just had a crazy effect.
Along with the martyrs.
Yeah.
People dying for their faith in front of the arenas.
Yes, dude.
Which was meant to discourage Christianity, but it only emboldened
the
people.
Yes.
And brought more people, like, because it makes you wonder, what on earth could they be dying for?
Yeah.
That could be so important.
100%. And so we talked about how like that led to not just like Christianity wasn't just like this religion that it wasn't like a trend. It didn't blow up and then just die out.
Yeah.
Like that growth, like that model of growth is what led to it becoming what it is. Like, I mean, the biggest religion in the world, right?
Yeah.
So there's just something to that, dude, that something I really enjoy about this podcast is having all these random guests, like people that we don't, how many times have we had a guest on that I've met like that day or that you've met like a week ago, right?
Literally,
that's probably like
30 minutes before we press record.
Literally, yeah. Like I walk in and I'm shaking their hand for the very first time. Like, all right, dude, let's record a podcast.
It's so funny.
It's amazing. But dude, I think that like that's been one of the best ways. I mean, we haven't experienced an insane amount of growth. Like
no,
yet,
not numbers wise.
But that has been like our most consistent way of growing, it seems like, is when we have a person on and then through their word of mouth, like their account or whatever, like that's how we get eyes on us.
Yeah.
And so even like what I just told you about on Wednesday night, I was at the gym just freaking working out and I'm like finishing up an exercise and this kid walks up to me. He's like, he goes, "Hey, are you Zach from the second floor?" And I was like shook, dude. I was like, what? Like we have like 130 subscribers on YouTube. We have what, like
145 on YouTube.
Oh, okay. See, I mean, whatever. But so I was rocked, dude. I was like, what the crap? I was not expecting
And you've never seen this kid before, ever?
Never in my life, dude. I'd never seen him in my life. And he was like, yeah, dude, I was like, how do you know about us? And he said that he was a friend of Thomas, who was a guest on here. And so, and he was just like, yeah, dude, Thomas just has so many great things to say. Like, I really admire his perspective and all these things. And then right there, like, he's like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna go follow your account. So followed Second Floor, and I told him, I was like, dude, if you like that video, you should watch the one before his, like Joey's. His was similar and really good. But just like that, dude, like it was the word of mouth. I feel like that kind of growth isn't as quick. No, but it's much deeper and will go further.
I totally agree. That's such a good point.
I know that took me forever to get to that point. But
I loved it. I was there for the journey. No, you're right, because you're so right, because it is so much deeper than that.
It's like, so much deeper and more meaningful.
When you connect in that way of like, wow, I saw my friend on there, or maybe you relate to your friend a lot or whatever, then it's like, dang, I wonder what these people are talking about. And so then if they just watch a few episodes or follow whatever, watch a few shorts or whatever, it's like they start to build that relationship with you.
Yeah.
And then they're able to, and if they enjoy the content, like if they're the people that we want listening, then typically they'll come back, right? And so it's like,
Yeah.
they're not just seeing a freaking sponsored post by us.
Right, dude. Right.
Like, who are these freaking idiots?
Yeah.
Another podcast with white guys? Like, why would I want to freaking listen to this nonsense?
Just the two guys trying to be influencers.
Yeah, freaking just trying to be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Trying to be something.
Yeah.
And it really just turns more in, I agree with you, it turns more into like, it's that relatability, I think, that it brings to it. And you're right, because it is exponential.
Yeah.
Like, it starts super, super slow, really small, and you have people that don't have the biggest groups of influence ever.
Yeah.
And then what happens is it's that snowball effect, or that hockey stick effect of, oh, this person, oh, you should have this person on if you're interested in what I have to say.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, you never know, right? Like, it could just, I don't know. But while all that's happening though, we're growing and developing too.
Yes,
our skills are getting better with editing, and like our intros are getting better, and our sound is getting better, and all this stuff our interview skills are getting better, our speaking skills are getting better. And so eventually it all just kind of comes to a head, and then that's when typically podcasts take off, right? Like, that's the same concept it's the same thing that happened with Chris Williamson. Is like, his podcast is 6 years old. Alex Hormozy, his podcast is 4 years old.
Yeah.
And they made episodes for years and years and years that never did anything, much. And then they hit that hockey stick, right? But like, people stop before they hit that point because they think that it's supposed to happen sooner.
Yes.
And so that's the lie, right? That's the lie you have to fight off, is that this isn't working. When in truth, it is working. You just don't see the results yet.
Yes,
so
dude.
If you're willing to stay the course, and you measure your progress based on yourself, of like,
right,
can we look back at our first, second, third episodes and be like, oh my gosh, boy, have we come a long way. And you can say yes to that, then that should be your definition of success, dude. For the most part.
Yeah. Even Joe Rogan, his podcast took like 5 years before, and he was famous before he even had his podcast. So it's like, that's kind of wild.
Yep, you're exactly right. I remember him saying that.
But that, and then on top of that too, though, this whole thing feels so much more authentic. Like, when this dude at the gym, like, his name's Sam, he just came up and introduced himself to me. Yeah. And it was just like cool. It was just cool.
Yeah, it was genuine.
Yes, dude, it was just genuine. Like, I'm not famous or anything. He just knew me because he saw his friend talking to me, like, on a video, basically. Yes. But now, like, I get to go to the gym, be like, hey, dude, what's up, Sam? Like, I get to know Sam.
Yes.
And that's what I love, dude. That's what I love.
And I think that's what we're really after in our potential guests in the next few weeks, or the next week or two, hopefully. Yeah. That's what I talked to them about, is like, people always ask, well, what's the podcast about? And it's so hard for me to like say what it's about. It is hard. Because
I feel like it hasn't gotten easier.
No, it has not.
Yeah.
And what I've really come down to is like, what we're really about is connecting with people.
Yes. Dude.
And the podcast is just a really, really good excuse to connect with someone and spend the time listening to their story, be genuine, be authentic, be focused on them, give them the spotlight for however long. And that has turned into some of my most favorite interactions. Yeah. And getting to know people that I've had this year.
Yeah, dude.
And so it's like, and people are suspicious of that. They're like, oh, like, what do you mean it's just to get to know people? I'm like, I am just genuinely, we are just genuinely curious about people. We are naturally curious people. And we just enjoy a good conversation. And we enjoy getting to know a unique person, and someone who has dreams, someone who has a story, someone who has past, like anything like that we enjoy. And or a unique perspective. It doesn't have to be a perspective we agree on, just a unique one.
Right.
We enjoy that. And I think a lot of people do too, but it's that social fear or the anxiety or the worry of what they think or that holds them back, right? So like the difference for me going up to people is like, hey, I don't know you at all, but like, would you like to go get coffee with me? It's so much weirder than me saying, hey, I have a podcast and we're interested in your story. Would you like to come on? It's just the nature of
for sure.
the difference.
Yeah. Dude, okay, so yesterday I'm at the gym and I was so impressed by this. Like I just got out of the sauna. I'm like dripping sweat, dude. And I'm just kind of packing my things up. And this kid who I had seen around the gym for a while now, he just came up to me and was like, hey, dude, what's your name? And I was like, Zach, what's yours? He's like, Andrew. I was like, nice, dude. And like we just kind of small talked a little bit. And he was like, yeah, I see you around here a lot, so I just want to know your name. That was like it. That was his reason to get to like ask me for my name. I was like, dude, holy crap. Like we just need more people like that.
So refreshing.
I was like, dang, bro, like I want to be more like that. You're just some kid like a senior in high school that lives around the area and like, but just the boldness to be willing to do that, dude. That's like a lost art.
It is.
Nowadays.
It really is.
The podcast in a lot of ways gives us an excuse to do that.
It does.
But dude, okay, I was gonna say, what I love is that everything that you just said, how like with the whole, like what's the premise of the podcast, right? Like it's really, we just enjoy getting to know people. Like we just want to find out who you are, your story or whatever. That's like actually what we talked about when we first started dreaming about this whole thing. Like when we first started conceptualizing this whole podcast. Remember, like we all we said was like, yeah, dude, we just want to, well, let's just have people on of like, you know, different religions or backgrounds or whatever. Let's just talk to them, get to know them.
That was our only
goal, dude. That was like our main goal. And I feel like we've kind of like found our way to that.
Yeah. It's just kind of
I feel like we're still getting better at it.
Yeah.
But
dude, it never fails. It never fails. That like each week I feel like the Holy Spirit just brings someone else in our life that's like, this person might be good on the podcast. Like, and the only metric I really have for that is, you know, do I enjoy the conversation with them? Do they seem open to talk?
Yeah.
And do they, you know, possibly have anything interesting about them at all? Anything, like certain hobby, and like the more there is, the better, right? And the more open they are, the better, typically. So that's like my only metric, literally. You know what's crazy, dude? I think that as we progress in this podcast and we start to have like influencers, people with bigger followings come on, while that may be better numbers wise for the podcast, I wonder if we'll, you know, sit back after a huge person with a huge following just finished with us, and we're like, man, not gonna lie, I kind of miss just having like average people on,
dude.
Which is why I think that the idea of the cafe is so cool.
Bro,
because
I've literally thought about this for like the past week.
Really?
Yes, dude. Like what are you saying right now?
Because it's like you kind of almost need the following to justify like having people on, in a sense of like, they're gonna be like, oh well, you don't really have a following, so it's like, thanks for having me on the podcast, but it's not gonna really do anything for me. Sometimes, true, right? True. So in that sense, it's like you do need those people. You need the influencers. Yeah. You need that. Yeah. You need their sphere of influence to cross-pollinate. All the business side, cool. But how freaking fun is it going to be when we have X amount of followers that's meaningful to whoever?
Yeah.
And it's like, we meet someone in the coffee shop and we're like, wow, this person is just like,
dude,
perfect for the podcast. You want to like hop upstairs real quick and do a podcast?
Dude, yes, bro.
And like all of our followers, all these people that have said, I want to listen to Second Floor Experience, they get to hear this person's story too. Like
yes.
Theo Vaughn does that. He had like a lunch lady on from a cafeteria somewhere. He had like a freaking mortician on.
Really?
Yes.
I love that.
And then he'll have Donald Trump on. And
yeah, right.
I saw someone's comment where they were like, Theo Vaughn's spread this year has been insane.
Yes, bro. I'm so with you on that, bro. That's something I was like, dang, that's something I want to make sure that we never lose. Like,
I agree.
no matter,
that down to earth.
Yeah. Like, no matter if we get crazy big, whatever, if not, if we do, like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I still want to have just everyday people on, dude, because that's like, that's what I care about. That's what we care about. So,
me too.
And it'll just be cool.
We're not gonna let the fame change us, man.
Yeah, bro.
Nah.
Yeah. There's not really a lot of stuff out there like that, though.
Mm-mm.
Just hearing like everyday people's story.
It's gonna be special, man. It's gonna be really cool. It is special already.
Yeah.
It is. It's special having something to be accountable to and saying, hey, no matter what, we're going to freaking get a pod in this week.
Yeah.
We are going to get it done. Something about that.
Yeah. And what'll be really cool too is like years down, if we have a following, whatever, but then to have people like Lawrence, people like Michael, Carly, like those
Val.
OGs, bro, to come and be like, dude, I was on like their first season. Like
that is me. Oh, I was gonna say we can wrap up with this too, because I was gonna say, I look at like our backlog of 36 episodes that we've done, and I'm like, this in a year or two is gonna be like literal gold.
Yeah.
Because exactly what Alex Hormozy says, he's like, people think they need to start filming themselves when they become successful. He's like, no, film yourself right now. Like while you're broke, while you have 800 followers, like while you had this, film yourself right now, because you're going to wish you had that footage when you do make it. And you ever seen those? This is like a dream of mine. You ever seen those edits of like, just by random accounts? They'll put edits together of like Cliff Connectly of the apologist on campuses. Oh. He's been doing that for like 30 years.
Okay.
So or it'll be like maybe like an NFL player, right? And it's like footage of him when he's in college or high school, and then someone's talking about him in a documentary and they have that sound overlay, and then it cuts to him like freaking in the NFL, freaking trucking somebody.
Yeah.
And it's got like crazy music and stuff. It's just like it's a freaking hard edit, dude. It's a hard edit.
Okay, yeah.
And it goes hard.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So in order to have stuff like that,
you're saying like the glow up.
Yes, basically, yeah. And in order to have stuff like that, you need to have the beginning part.
Yeah.
That's kind of essential. And so I just think it'd be so sick, dude. I just think it'd be so sick, so funny if people latch on to this whole Second Floor idea and the cafe idea, and there's like a meme culture that gets built, which I'm really hoping for. And all of our dreams become a reality. It's going to be so freaking hilarious to see the clips of us from like the very first few episodes. Literally like this clip talking about, man, can't wait till we have X amount of followers. Can't wait till we make it. And then that immediately goes to us like on a stage somewhere, or like doing something where it's like the opening of the cafe, right? Like those things, to be like, holy crap, to see the before and the after, to have record of the before and to show, hey, at this date we had this many, like we were not we were not successful by these standards. It's just gonna be so
Yes.
fun, dude. It's gonna be so fulfilling.
But
To me, that's like more fulfilling than
I mean, yeah,
what other people would consider success.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, I feel like some of it will be painful.
Oh yeah, that's the nature
But,
of it. It's
yeah.
gotta be. It's gotta
But
be.
then, to turn around though and see like where you are now,
Yeah.
like that's
The benchmarks of growth.
yes.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah, dude.
Well, we got a date with
We got a date with Tumble 22, bro.
free
I
advertising.
don't know if you're in the Austin area, more the Round Rock area. I don't know if there's other locations.
Probably.
There's a chicken place, a fried chicken place called Tumble 22. It's really good,
You have
but
an interesting relationship with that place.
yeah, it's definitely a love-hate. I feel like
Emphasis on the hate.
yeah, I feel like for our friends, they're more on the love side. We're about to go meet them. I think I'm about to hate myself in the next like 2 hours.
It is a unique taste of chicken. It's crispy. It's good.
Yeah, like dude, the first bite hits, dude.
Oh yeah.
It slaps.
It's like a bar
hard.
of fulfillment that is really high on one end when the first bite,
Yeah,
but it decreases every bite
yes, dude.
till the end, and then it goes negative.
Yeah.
Because once you get done, you walk out, you're like, yeah, I need to
Yeah.
work out for like an hour.
Yes, dude. Yes. Like, I need to go on another 3-day fast now, dude. Gosh.
Time to detox again.
Seriously.
Something they put in there, man. It just
It
takes-
will take you out. It'll take you out.
well, live while you're
get
young.
it over with,
That's
dude.
what I'm saying.
Let's get it
right?
over with.
Thanks for watching another episode of Second Floor Experience, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace out.
Peace.
I want to talk to you. Not now. Later. No, now.